Welcome back to the EMT Spot's Blood Pressure Podcast, where we dive deep into all things heart health.
Mhm.
I'm Samuel Harrison,
Yes.
and as always, I am joined by the amazing Olivia Harper.
Pleasure to be here.
Now, today we're tackling something a bit sneaky. We all know obesity is bad news, right?
hmm
But what about just those small little weight gains?
Right.
Like after vacation,
Yeah.
this extra 5 pounds. We're going deep on how even these tiny fluctuations, especially belly fat, can
Yes.
really mess with your blood pressure.
That's right.
And get this, we've got some pretty groundbreaking research straight from the Mayo Clinic to unpack.
The Mayo Clinic study, it looked at over 10,000 people.
Wow.
And you know what they found? Gaining even just 5 to 7 pounds.
Seriously.
Yeah, even for folks in a healthy weight range, caused a significant spike in their systolic blood pressure.
That's wild. I think a lot of us, myself included, would just brush off a few pounds.
Yeah.
But this really shows location, 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 right?
It's not just a number on the scale.
Right.
It's about where that weight is.
Yeah.
And when it comes to belly fat, even small increases can have a huge impact on your heart.
So let's break down why belly fat is the villain here.
Okay.
It's not just a matter of appearances, is it?
No, not at all.
So what's the deal with belly fat?
Well, the kind of fat we're talking about is called visceral fat. Think of it like this. It's fat that surrounds your organs deep inside you.
Deep.
Yeah, it's different from subcutaneous fat, which is that pinchable fat right under your skin.
Okay, so one's deep, one's, more on the surface.
Yeah.
Got it. But why is this visceral fat so much worse?
It comes down to what it does in your body.
Uh-huh.
Visceral fat, it releases these things called cytokines,
Okay.
and those trigger inflammation.
And that's bad how?
Chronic inflammation, it damages your blood vessels, makes them stiff,
Oh.
and then your blood pressure goes up.
Like a chain reaction.
Yeah,
Belly fat, then inflammation,
huh?
and bam, high blood pressure.
Exactly, and it gets more complicated. Visceral fat, it also messes with your hormones.
Hormones too.
Yeah, it can make you resistant to insulin. That's the hormone that controls blood sugar.
Right.
And that can lead to even more problems.
So we're talking more than just heart issues here.
A whole system out of whack.
Wow. And the scariest part is you might not even realize it's happening.
Right. Those small gains, they sneak up on you.
Totally. So we've got this Mayo Clinic study showing the impact of these small gains.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone over why belly fat is so dangerous.
Yes.
But what about those of us who, are just predisposed to belly fat? Is it just bad genes?
Well, genetics do play a part for sure.
Right.
Some people naturally store fat in their belly, but it's not the whole story.
Okay.
Lifestyle choices matter a lot too.
So even if you're, genetically prone to a little extra padding,
Yeah,
there's still stuff we could do about it.
absolutely.
So hit me with the big lifestyle factors, the ones that really pack on that belly fat.
Well, the usual suspects are a poor diet, lack of physical activity. Mm-hmm.
And
What else?
stress.
What? Stress can make you gain belly fat. I always thought stress just made you want to eat everything in sight.
It can definitely increase cravings,
Right.
but there's a deeper connection.
Okay. I'm listening.
When you're chronically stressed, your body pumps out this hormone called cortisol.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
And cortisol, it's essential, but it can also make you store fat, especially in your belly,
Oh, no. So it's like stress is telling your body, hey, store all this fat right here.
basically.
That is both fascinating and terrifying.
It is.
It really highlights how important it is to, take care of our mental health too.
100%.
All right. So we've established that even small gains in belly fat
Yeah.
can lead to big health issues, especially with blood pressure. We dove into the why.
Uh-huh.
We touched on those lifestyle factors.
Right.
But what does all this mean for our listeners? What can they actually do about this belly fat and blood pressure situation?
That's what we'll be getting into next.
Ooh, the good stuff. We'll be exploring practical strategies to reduce that belly fat, manage stress, and ultimately take control of your blood pressure.
I'm ready for it.
Stay tuned, everybody.
We'll be back after a quick break.
So let's talk about what you can actually do.
Yeah, let's get practical. It's great to know the why, but what about the how?
Think of it like this, a three-pronged attack.
Okay, like it.
What you eat, how you move, and how you handle that stress, they all play a part.
Okay, let's break it down. Food first. What does healthy eating actually look like when it comes to, tackling belly fat?
It's about choosing foods that really nourish your body and help fight inflammation. Whole, unprocessed foods. Fruits, veggies, lean proteins,
Oh.
healthy fats.
So swapping out the chips for, a handful of almonds or some apple slices with peanut
Or
butter?
exactly, those little swaps can make a big difference. And don't forget about fiber. It's your friend.
Oh, yeah, fiber. That keeps you feeling full.
Right, things like whole grains, beans, lentils, they keep you satisfied so you don't overeat.
Makes sense. Feeling good, energized, instead of reaching for that second bag of chips.
Exactly. And what about those sugary drinks?
Yeah, yeah, those are tough to resist sometimes.
They're packed with empty calories, and they spike your blood sugar, which messes with your blood pressure down the line.
So what are some good alternatives?
Swap them out for water, unsweetened tea, or even like a sparkling water with some lemon.
It's funny how your taste buds adjust.
Yeah.
Once you cut back on the sugar, those natural flavors are actually really good.
You start to appreciate them more.
Totally.
Your body will thank you, that's for sure. Oh, and another one to watch out for is alcohol.
Yeah, the holiday season's coming up.
I know, right? It's fine in moderation, but too much alcohol can really lead to belly fat.
So we've got the diet revamped. What about movement? Do we have to hit the gym hard every day?
Not at all.
Okay, good.
It's more about being consistent.
Got it.
Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise most days of the week.
Moderate intensity, what does that even mean?
Think brisk walking, cycling, swimming, dancing.
Oh, I like that.
Anything that gets your heart rate up a bit. You don't need a gym for that.
Right. And even things like gardening or playing with your kids or taking the stairs instead of the elevator, that all counts too.
Exactly. It's about finding ways to move that you actually enjoy, not something you dread.
I love that. Make it fun.
Yes, exactly. And remember, you don't have to cram it all in at once.
Okay, that's good to know.
Even short bursts throughout the day add up.
Right, like a quick walk at lunch or some stretches while the coffee's brewing.
Exactly.
Those little things make a difference.
For sure. Okay, so we've covered diet, we've talked about exercise. Now for the big one, stress.
Stress. We know it's linked to belly fat, but realistically, how do we manage stress when life is already so hectic?
This is where it gets personal.
Yeah.
Stress management is different for everyone.
Okay.
It's about finding what helps you unwind, de-stress.
What works for you?
Exactly. Maybe it's meditation or deep breathing. Maybe it's spending time in nature, listening to music.
I like all of those.
Or maybe it's something creative like painting or playing an instrument.
So many options.
Right. And sometimes it might mean reaching out for help from a therapist or counselor.
There's absolutely no shame in that.
Not at all. Your mental health matters just as much as your physical health.
Absolutely. And speaking of things that are connected, what about sleep?
Ah, yes. Sleep.
Where does sleep fit into all of this belly fat and blood pressure business?
Sleep is huge. It affects your hormones, your metabolism, your well-being in general.
Right.
When you don't sleep enough, your body makes more of that cortisol we talked about.
Oh, cortisol again. That seems to be at the root of so many problems.
It really does. Lack of sleep can also mess with other hormones that control your appetite.
So you end up craving more unhealthy foods.
And you're more likely to overeat.
It's like a domino effect.
Yeah.
Bad sleep, then hormone chaos, then bad food choices.
And eventually belly fat and high blood pressure.
It's all connected.
Exactly. And it goes beyond the physical, too.
Oh.
When you're tired, you're also more likely to feel stressed and anxious.
Which makes the problem even worse.
Exactly. So sleep is crucial.
So how much sleep are we talking?
Yeah.
And any tips for getting better sleep?
Most adults need 7 to 9 hours a night.
Okay.
But it's not just about the quantity.
What else is there?
Quality matters, too. You want to wake up feeling refreshed, not groggy.
Gotcha.
So having a regular sleep schedule helps. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day.
Even on weekends?
Even on weekends. It keeps your body's natural clock in sync.
Interesting.
And a relaxing bedtime routine can really help, too.
Like what?
A warm bath, a good book, some calming music.
Winding down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, avoid caffeine and alcohol before bed.
Right, that makes sense.
It can really disrupt your sleep.
So we've covered a lot today. Diet, exercise, stress, and sleep.
A lot of info.
It feels like the big takeaway here is that even small changes in these areas can make a real difference for our belly fat and our blood pressure.
Absolutely. Small changes, big impact.
And it's not about being perfect.
Right.
It's about making those sustainable changes.
Yeah. Building healthy habits that last.
Exactly. Progress, not perfection. Well, we've come to the end of our deep dive today. We started by talking about how even small weight gains can affect blood pressure.
Especially that belly fat.
Right. And we learned why that is, all that science behind
The visceral fat, the inflammation.
hormones, too.
Yeah, it all plays a role.
And most importantly, we talked about what you can actually do about it.
Those lifestyle changes.
Eating better, moving more, managing that stress, and of course, sleep.
So important.
It's empowering to know that we have the power to, make those changes and improve our health.
Absolutely. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's
Okay.
about those small steps, those consistent efforts that really add up over time.
So if our listeners could take away just one key thing from today's deep dive, what would it be?
Remember this, even small increases in belly fat, like just 5 pounds, can really affect your blood pressure and your overall heart health.
But the good news is we can do something about it
Exactly. You have the power to take control.
by making those healthy choices.
Yes. Yes, with what you eat, how you move, and how you manage that stress. And don't forget sleep.
Definitely not. It's all about creating a lifestyle that supports your heart and your well-being as a whole.
That's the goal.
Well, Olivia, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been such an insightful conversation.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
And to all our listeners, thank you for tuning in to the EMT-SPOT's Blood Pressure Podcast. I'm Samuel Harrison,
And I'm Olivia Harper.
and we'll catch you on the next deep dive. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a comment, and share this episode with your friends and family. Until next time, stay healthy.